Kitty. Here's Kitty.
Hiya, it's me, Kitty. Kitty Cassis at your service. How are you doing? We are back here, episode 2. Well, this is it now. We're rocking and rolling, aren't we? My name is Kitty Cassis. Cassis like the dark, sweet, viscous, slightly sickly liqueur, only tolerable in very small doses. Hiya! How are we doing? Welcome to Calling Kitty. It's a podcast. It's got a visual element and it's got an audio element. And I'm just chatting. To you all. And I'm also encouraging you to get in touch with any problems you've got, any dilemmas you've got. In other words, call Kitty. If somebody said to you, "What are you doing, Enid?" You'd say, "I'm calling Kitty." And that's the premise. But that's the conceit, as they say down in that there London in the creative sector. I am a beautician. That's what I do. That's my main bread and butter. I've just ordered the Kensington static couch with adjustable back and removable face hole. And I think that's going to change things for me, gang. All right. I've got a couple of local clients and I'm working on getting my own salon. That's the plan. At the moment, I'm in the back bedroom. I've made Dave, my husband of 25 years, clear out all his shit, all his vinyl, all his mucky magazines. I said, "I want that space, Dave." And that's where he's been. And if you are listening to this now, no matter where you are, no matter what time of the day or night it is, even if there's been an apocalypse and it's been World War VI or something like that, wherever you are, whether you're up a ladder, trimming a hedge, or under the bonnet of a Ford Cortina, or walking your dog, I hope you're well. Do you know what I mean? That's my hope for you, wherever you are. It's funny, isn't it? Back in my day, we didn't used to walk our dogs. Dogs were just around. They didn't have a collar on, didn't have a lead on. You didn't have people getting into, drama in the park, walking the dog. The dogs would just be like, "I'm off out for the day. I'll see you later." And you just see them walking around. It's funny, isn't it? That gives you a flavour of the target market and the demographic for this podcast. I am the love child of Cilla Black and Liberace, if you like. So, maybe you're under the age of 19 and you're studying 1970s and 80s culture, and that this would be the perfect place to come and do your research. But maybe you're one of my gang, and you're firmly in that over 40s slot, and it's you that we're trying to target with these podcasts. To be honest, because I think the young ones are on the podcast already. They're well into it. My eldest nephew Jack, he's a sound snob. All right, and there's probably a few of you out there right now. He's lent me this lovely, it's called a snowball blue. And he's lent me that. And he said, "Auntie Kitty, I listened to your first episode. There's problems." He's pedantic about echoes. All right, he said, "You need to get soundproofing." I said, "Do you know what? At this point, we're just doing it." As I said to you last time, life can sometimes, you can stop, you can wait to live life because you're waiting for everything to be perfect, and it's not like that, is it? He said, "Also get closer up to the mic, Auntie Kitty." Anyway, that's what I'm doing. We can hear it. Do you know what I mean? We used to survive on Betamax. Do you know what I mean? Sound was not something that was curated like it is now, but I get it. Everyone's got their thing. So I will see to that. So calling Kitty, I would invite you to get in touch with me. Have I set up an email address? I haven't yet. But you can get in touch with me at Hiya, it's me, Kitty. That's literally HIYAITSMEKITTY. Again, still working on the meter and the rhythm for that. I'll be getting me banjo out later and giving it a strum and seeing if I can come up with a little jingle. Get in touch on all the usual platforms. Hiya, it's me, Kitty, all one word. And if you've got any, maybe you're pondering life, maybe you're really trying to refine that recipe and get that right, because you know that I'm a jack of all trades, don't you? I do everything. All right. That's another thing that one of my nieces, Catherine, she got in touch with me. She said, Kitty, what you need to be doing is going for sponsorship. So what I've done is I've come up with a few recipes using this age-old product here. And if you would like to get in touch, Spam, and, sponsor the podcast, that would be great. I mean, even just a few free cans would be great at this point. There is an audio and a visual element, and I'm trying to straddle both. I have gone for a natural look today, as you can see, soft contouring, a nude palette. And if that hasn't whet your appetite to seek out the visual element of this podcast, I don't know. There's no hope for you, treasure, to be honest. So yeah, get in touch with any dilemmas you've got, any problems you've got. Maybe you're just wondering, Kitty, what's the bloody point of it all? And we could talk about that. Don't send that, because that's slightly out of my pay grade, to be honest. I dropped philosophy when I was at Polytechnic College because I really wanted to learn about acrylics. I just felt that's where the money was. Cock. Do you know what I mean? But listen, sometimes a problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it? And you and me, we can halve that together. There will be some guests. I'm working on it as we speak. All right. I've reached out to a few people. There's a brilliant tarot reader who just lives down the road from me, and they want to come on. I live on a cul-de-sac. All right. I'm the founding and only member of my neighborhood watch round here. All right. So they all know me. Do you know what I mean? They all know me. And I'm like, hiya. And they're twitching at the curtains. I can see them. But they will want to get involved, I think, once they see what's going on, they will want to get involved. But you could get involved as well. So contact me. Let me know whatever dilemmas you've got. How are you all feeling today, treasures? Sometimes it's bloody hard, isn't it? It really is. I would like you, just wherever you are, to take a nice big deep breath in and release. Do you know what? Even if only half of you, even if only 7 of you did that wherever you are, I just feel like when you stretch out those lungs, fill out the rib cage, and you just think, bloody hell, she knows what she's talking about, that Kitty, doesn't she? And the answer would be yes, I do. Yeah. Me and Mystic Meg, we actually used to run a retreat. It's true. And we get a lot of, it was, we did a lot of good work on that. We would just do it in her backyard, which was sizable. She had a great big Alsatian, and it just used to leave dog shit all over the place. So that it was a bit of an assault course, to deal with that. But we did a lot of great work for the community. So like I said, I've been around, I've done stuff, so I know what I'm talking about. Let's have a little drink, shall we? So what have we got today? Let's have a look. I think I mentioned it last time. I did my little snazzy thing where I can bring up a letter. If you're listening to this on audio, again, I implore you to search out the visual element, but I'm now going to bring up this letter. Okay, so dear Kitty, let's put my specs on. Please keep me anonymous. Well, that's the first thing. Please keep me anonymous. I keep adding things to my Netflix list and never watching them. What do I do about this habit? Yours, potential hoarder. Now, one thing that you will be able to see is the choice of font there. I think that's the Chancery Apple in, I'd say about a 12. Do you reckon? Let me know if you're an expert in font sizes and font types. And that reveals a lot to me. So you keep adding things to that Netflix list and you never watch them. So what is that about? I feel like you could be, on a Channel 5 hoarding documentary, quite frankly. Have you got Do you buy sort of 17 bars of soap at once? Yeah. And I bet your pantry is just stocked full of Barocca, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I would like to see what was on that list. Do you know what I mean? Are you watching like true crime? Or have you gone down the soft porn element of Netflix? Because there's a lot of that on there, isn't there? Oh my God. Now, honestly, I've only recently got Netflix. Again, I made a little bargain with my husband, Dave. He said we couldn't possibly afford that. I said, get the lawnmower out, get out the chains and whips, and let's see if we can afford it. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of what I can only describe as kind of low budget, Vaseline on the lens, lot of storyline, and then not a lot of hardcore penetration. Do you know what I mean? That's, I'm kind of like, how has this passed us all by? So what's on that list, potential hoarder? That's what I would like to know from you. Is it documentaries? Is it films? Is it box sets? Is it feature films? If you've got Murder, She Wrote on there and a bit of the Golden Girls, I wouldn't be mad. There might be one day that you do get a bunion removed and you have to be, laid up for 6 weeks. And that's when that Netflix list would come into its own, wouldn't it? And you could really just fire all the way through there. A friend of mine, he used to tape the bill. He used to tape the bill on VHS tapes, and he would have them all up there, dated on his shelf. He actually turned out to be a serial killer. They found a lot of bodies around Chorley in Lancashire, and that. So again, you might want to just look at your habit and really dig down into what it is that you're doing there. It's almost like delayed gratification, isn't it? So you're saving them, you're bookmarking them, you're putting the heart on them, aren't you? You're liking them in the list. In the list it goes, but it never gets watched. Yes. I mean, you could be a fan of edging, couldn't you? I'd need to know a bit more information about you. I would need to know a bit more information about you. I mean, I do matchmaking stuff as well. And it could be that you'd fit very nicely and be quite compatible with somebody who doesn't have Netflix. We have to beat these big guys one way or the other, don't we? And if you can share your Netflix password with a potential love mate, that's a possibility as well, isn't it? Very interesting that you've chosen this font, because that's the kind of font. It's sort of like a swaying, it's like an italic font, isn't it? It's very sort of Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, that font. And that makes me think that you want to give me the impression that you are not a sociopath, which, in the grand scheme of things, that's a good thing, isn't it? To want to give the impression of at least being, normal, whatever that is. Let's have another little drink. So that's what happens when you send something in. Do send me anything that you've got that you would like to send in. I've solved many people's problems over the years. It's true. Me and Christopher Biggins, we used to do a tour of all the care homes in the Northeast, and we would just go and, just sit with people. If they wanted a pillow put over the face, then that's what we would do. Do you know what I mean? If they wanted to maybe dance a cha-cha or listen to We'll Meet Again, Don't Know Where, Don't Know When, we would also oblige. So I have got experience in this realm. That's what I'm saying to you, Treasure. That's what I'm saying to you. Get in touch. I go all over the place. All right. I go all over the place, and I I go to the opening of an envelope, to be quite honest with you. And I can be seen and heard at various establishments all over the country. And if you go to Aya, it's me, Kitty. You can find all the details there. I am on the Instagram. I'm on the TikTok. Oh, isn't it bloody exhausting? There must be people out there who've got their own business, and you do what you do. You do your craft, don't you? For me, it's being able to get, a nice, neat triangle, just where you need a nice, neat triangle, if you know what I'm saying. I work well with pubic hair. What can I say? All right. If it's a vajazzle you need, it's a vajazzle I can do. So that's my craft. All right. Also, I can surgically fasten bulldog clips into the back of your neck, and that gives you a really nice tight lift up. I did a couple of years at Polytechnic College learning all about collagen and cosmetic surgery. And so that is my craft. That's what I do. But now as an entrepreneur, you've got to be everything, haven't you? You've got to do the hustle. You've got to do the PR. You've got to do the promo. You've got to do all of that. And you've got to be a one-man band doing everything, doing your cymbal, doing your tambourine, you're strumming with one hand, you're hitting the hi-hat with the other. And it's hard to be a woman in business, a woman in STEM, as I like to say. And it can detract you from your main craft as well. That's what I'm saying to you. But you need your social media. You need your social medias, and you need your presence, and you need to engage your listeners. That's what you need to do. Now, one of I wouldn't call her a friend. She's a frenemy. We've all got them, and you keep them close. All right. Her name's Brenda Braithwaite, and she poaches all of my clients. And that's a problem for me at the moment. And if I was writing, I'd be like, "Dear Kitty, Brenda Braithwaite is poaching all of my clients. What should I do?" Now, my advice to myself would be just move out of the bloody area, Kitty. And that is something that me and Dave are toying with. We've got a caravan, and we do go down to Torquay quite a lot. And I'm thinking that maybe my services might be needed down there, because they are bloody ugly down there. Now, if we've got anyone listening from Torquay, present company excluded, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you do keep an eye on your appearance. But I think that maybe my services could be needed down there. But Brenda, she gets in where a bloody draft wouldn't. And she's a menace. She really is. Now, what she's doing at the moment, when I put into Google, which I do on the regular, Kitty Cassis beauty treatment and beauty services, she's got into me hashtags. She's somehow hacked into me bloody hashtags, and I will have to get one of me nieces or my nephews. I mean, I've got about 34 nieces, nephews, godsons, goddaughters. Me and Dave never had kids. I did put it on a Post-it note and stuck it to the fridge, but it must have fallen down the back in about 1986, and we just never got round to it. But I have got an army of godsons, goddaughters, nieces, nephews, cousins, all of me girls. I've got a great gang of girls: Mandy, Lucy, Kaylee, Hayley, Gobshite Mandy, and we all, we go to Benidorm every other year. Before COVID, we were doing it every year. Obviously Brenda is not involved in that, but she will infiltrate that group if she ever bloody finds out about that. So do not tell Brenda. That's all I'm saying. If you come across her, if you see her, just keep it stum. All right, cock. But yeah, she somehow hacked into my mainframe. So now when you search for Kitty Cassis lip wax, what's coming up? Brenda Braithwaite eyebrow shaping. And this is a problem. And I'm pretty sure it's illegal. So if anyone's got it, listen, this could be a platform for me to get advice from you. If you know anybody, I mean, there is Des, who I see down at the local pub, and he said to me, "Kitty, I can take her kneecaps off if you want me to." I said, "Des, just pop that on. Let's put a pin in that, because I've got to do it above board, if you know what I mean. I can't be going straight to violence, although I am bloody tempted." Listen, I have loved sharing this little time with you, and I hope whatever you're doing, whether it's that bush that you're trimming or a car park, that chassis that you're tinkering with down there, or if you've walked your dog, I hope that you've not. The thing is about walking dogs, I'll just say this before I go, it's not the dogs that are the problem, it's the humans, isn't it? Oh my God. What we've got around my parts where I am, sometimes I see people, it kicks off. I mean, Jack Russell nearly took out this guy's kneecap last week. A bloody ambulance were called and everything. Oh God. And there's always some sort of drama, getting involved. Someone's lost their dog, or something's kicked off, or someone's nicked a dog. And but anyway, if you are walking, I hope you get home safe and sound with your pooch. Again, from the bottom of my colonic to the tips of my acrylics, I've been Kitty Cassis. You can find me on all platforms at Hiya It's Me Kitty. The other thing that one of my cousins' lads said to me is, Kitty, you've got to tell people to like and share and subscribe. And I said, bloody hell, that sounds a bit desperate, doesn't it? He said, you've got to do it. You've got to remind them to rate it, review it, share it, subscribe. I said, oh, bloody hell, I'm asking a lot of these lot, aren't I? He said, they'll do it, Kitty. They'll do it if you just keep saying it. So that's what I got to do. Keep saying it. And again, spam, I am here. And I think you would see your, I think you'd see that reflected on your Excel spreadsheet, on your profit and loss sheet. All right. I think you would see it reflected, because I am an influencer of sorts. Now, if you don't want to go now and have fried spam with a Barocca jus, then we can't be friends, quite frankly, cock. All right. I've gone past the 20-minute mark. I'm going to get a little shimmy on. You lot are gorgeous wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Be kind to yourself. Take those big, deep breaths. And I'll see you next time. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. Get in touch. Lots of love. Ta-ra!
Like, follow, subscribe, sign your life savings over to Calling Kitty. Available on all the podcast platforms.